It's Sunday night, day, and just sitting outside. Sorry I'm a few minutes late. I was trying to finish up dinner so I could get live on here with you guys. Let's find you on my computer here. So yeah, I figured out that in order to go live, in order to go live on my computer, I need my webcam, and I don't have the proper port in my computer, so I need a new computer if I want to start going live again on the computer. So that's okay. Just we figure things out. So let's see where we're at here. Okay, let me go copy this link. Get on over here. It's been a beautiful weekend. Anybody else having a beautiful weekend? What did you do? Hey Paula, how are you? Nice to see you. Just putting this over onto Facebook. So how was your weekend? Q&A. Hey Lisa, how are you? She says, hey Miss Paula and Dr. Paula. Yes, we have all the Paulas in the house. Jump on over. Okay, thanks for being here. Yeah, I had a great weekend. We did we have this event here called the Heartland Polo Classic, and where we get to wear fancy hats and fancy dresses, and it's just a really fun, unique time. So we go out to a park and they set up a polo field. And it's a lot of fun. See, there's a lot of great people there, and it's just unique. It's always nice to do unique things. So yes. So I had I don't know if I can drop a picture of me. Oh, you know what? The picture's not on. Oh, maybe I can. Let's see. Drop a picture in the comments to see if you can. I don't know how that works. I don't know if we can put pictures in the comments there, but so you can see my fancy hat. Excuse me, my fancy hat and my fancy dress. And hey, if you are watching, make sure you hit that thumbs up button for me so I know you're here. Sorry, something in my throat. What'd you all do on this beautiful weekend? What exciting things took place? If you have a pic on your phone, you can show us on the phone. That's a great idea, except I'm live on my phone. I think you jumped on a couple minutes after I said this. So I'm live on my phone because the port on my computer isn't compatible with my webcam. I need the USB 3, USB 3 port, the blue port. So I can't do that. Oh wait, but I can pull up a picture on my computer. Duh. Okay. All right. Let's see. I didn't post anything. I posted a couple of things, but let's see what I can show you here. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. Great people. We danced. My knees were really hurting today from dancing in high-heeled shoes. So there was that. And Lisa, you have nothing to report. Paula, you have nothing to report either. Hey, sometimes it's the best when there's not, just a low-key weekend. That's okay too. If it's low-key, just report that. Yeah, so I danced in my heels. And, when you talk about alignment, oh my gosh, throws your whole body out of alignment, and then my knees just don't like it. So I always take slides, and so I put my slides on a little bit later, and so that worked out. Okay, now this is, let's see if I don't know how to do this. Oh, there we go. So, I don't know if you can see that. This is my friend Rochelle. So she makes these hats. This is my hat, actual macaw feathers. So she gets them from, I don't even know where, but once they molt, then she buys these. She'll buy the feathers, and then she makes. Let's see what else we had. Yeah. All right. And I'm not showing that I'm. Can you see me, Lisa? Because I'm still spinning on my computer, but I'm showing live here. There we go. Okay. So as far as my knees go, so yes, I'm back. Okay. So I want to talk about that because a lot of times, when, and I remember my dad, he had these really amazing pair of cowboy boots, and he loved wearing them, but every time he did, his knee would swell up like a balloon and he'd be in pain for days. So, a lot of times when we're thinking, gosh, where does this pain come from? Or, oh, I just woke up with it. Or, hey, get out of there. Get out of there. Come here. Come on. There we go. Yeah, I just keep hitting the reconnect button. And I don't know how to fix it. I think if you guys remember last week or 2 weeks ago, I went and I stood right next to the router. So I don't know why. I don't know what it's doing. But anyway, so my knee was hurting all night long. I didn't sleep very well. And all night I kept and I was tired because it was a long day. We left here about 4 o'clock. So we were, dancing and partying, and then went over to the bar where my friends were playing in a band and caught their last set. So I think it was like 1 o'clock by the time I went to sleep. So I'm going to take care of myself today. But during the night, my knee kept hurting, and I was like, I'm tired. I'm gonna just get up and laze a cup of coffee. And my knees were hurting so badly, and I said, you got to go to yoga. So I know it seems counterintuitive to move when you have pain, but sometimes when you have pain and you move, it actually feels better. So I went to yoga, and it was sore at the beginning of the class, but then eventually it was great. So my knee feels totally fine now, both of them. So oftentimes when you're having pain, I think it can stop you from moving because you're afraid to move. So find movement, be healing for you, even if it's just a walk. But what I find with with my knees, and again, especially with knees, you're afraid to bend your knees. You're afraid to, really move through that full range of motion. And that's actually even deep squat and just really sitting down and allowing that hyperflexion of my knee. So if you think about the way any of the joints work, when you move them like this, you're moving fluid in and out of the joint, and that is actually nourishing. So I could have done it here, but it's, I'm in a hot room, I'm sweating out and, detoxing. And so if you can just move all your joints, whether it doesn't matter if it's, shoulder, but the more movement and the more you compress and open and compress and open, it's like taking a wet sponge and putting water in it and squeezing it and putting water and squeezing. So you're bringing fluid in, you're squeezing it out, and all of that, it flushes out any of the toxins that are causing the pain. So it'll help to flush out the inflammation that's creating the pain and the immobility. So I know, again, it seems counterintuitive to move when you're in pain, but sometimes that's the best thing you can do. So don't allow pain to keep you stuck in one spot. Find some way to move that creates comfort, and that actually will help to nourish and heal that. So yeah, my knees. Okay, we're back. So Lisa says, funny that you're talking about this right now. My hubby has been laid up on the left side of his back, seizing up, and so that oftentimes when he crawled. Yeah, he crawled because he probably didn't have a choice. Yeah, to the toilet, right? Yeah, sometimes you don't have a choice when you have back pain, and so the more you can crawl. Again, you're trying to move those discs, and if you think about when you get into a crawl position, you now can get a sway in the lower back, and that will help to reset the disc. So, so oftentimes the reason we get back pain and back spasms is because we've been bending forward so much every day that the disc actually pushes out the back, and then it gets stuck there. So if we can do more extension type movements, that actually will start to pull that disc in. And again, if you can move the spine around, you're gonna start to pump that fluid out, pump the inflammation out. I literally just did a video on this Thursday on the disc and what happens and doing back. Okay. He nearly cried a couple of times. It was so bad. Paula, when you finally see me, you will soon be able to redecorate your office. Oh my gosh. Is that some insight as to how much care you're going to need? I'm assuming. That's funny. I'm here for you, girl. I'm here for you. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm putting a lot of videos out on my channel to address just simply that, the simple things that we need to do for mobility and to help. I know you can't get through the buffering. I know it's annoying. It just keeps, yeah, I'm back though, right? So yeah. So, and I don't know why it's, like I say, I got to call my IT guy. So it's on her side. We'll just have to wait for her connection to, oh, it's, it only cuts out so thanks for hanging in, you guys. Jeez. And like I said, I went and it actually sounds like my dog. Oh yeah, he's around front barking. Oh, he's barking at, okay. Yeah, I went and stood right next to the router. So, so keep an eye out for the videos on my channel that are, a lot of them are stretching, mobility, how to regain mobility, how to gain better flexibility. You know, flexibility and mobility go hand in hand. Flexibility is your ability to move a joint through a range of motion, and then mobility is how you can move through. It's more of an action, right? So, so even though I can, or something like that. So we want to think about flexibility and mobility that go hand in hand. So create better flexibility, but then also with mobility, we think of things like just the ability to walk properly. So most of my patients don't have a very good gait, meaning their hips are really stiff and tight, and so they might be able to sit down and do a good hamstring stretch or a good hip flexor stretch, but when it comes to actually movement, their hips are locked in place and they're swinging their legs around instead of moving them through. So there's a few videos on my channel also that show some of my patients and how they're walking, and super cool videos when I think I just walk stiff as a freaking board, couldn't get his fingertips to his knees. He's that inflexible. And so it's now been about 2 or 3 months that we've been working, and his toes, you can clearly see his toes are starting to do this. He's walking more normal, and he actually bent over to touch his toes. So just again, working on all of getting the hips to move properly. He was all locked up in the joints. So that's where chiropractic helps to unlock the joints, get the joints mobile, and now do your other exercises that are going to be more effective. Now allows you to then do your stretching now, because we're unlocking the joints ability to move. So so Paula, oh honey, I'm trying. That's right. Sounds like you, tight as a board. Yeah. So we'll work on gait. Yeah, we'll work on all that fun stuff. Who are you barking at, boy? So this week, and that I'll be, so watch for the video that I'm doing I have a balloon. So I use the balloon as an example of the disc and how the disc is affected when we move. I would show, yeah, I ruined them all. but you'll want to look at that, because seeing that visual makes you go, oh, okay, so if I'm bending forward all day long and I'm pushing the disc back and it gets stuck there, and that's where all the nerves are, and then once it hits those nerves, the muscles will go into spasm. And the reason for that is because if you think about being a mechanism for the spine or for the body, so you sprain an ankle, those muscles go into spasm, inflammation comes in, it locks the joint in place so you can't move it and injure it more. So it's the healing mechanism. Like, oh, it's just a muscle. No, it's not. It's the muscles are going into spasm, telling the muscles, you better bind up because we're in trouble here. We are injured. And so that muscle keeps you from moving so that you can, basically splints it, so then the body can start to heal it. So sounds like that's what Mike suffered. He said he thought he needed a muscle relaxer at one point. It's finally starting to get better. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, when you're in crisis, and I always tell people to, my patients apologize for taking medication, right? But I'll tell them too, listen, I don't live in your body. But now that you've gone through the crisis, you don't want to experience that again. So let's get you through it, do what you have to do to get through it. And then we can start to take the steps to make you stronger, make your spine more mobile, show you flexibility, get you walking properly again, and correct a lot of the movement that's causing you to stay in that loop. So while you're in crisis, if you got to take meds, take meds. But once you're out, that should be your wake-up call. Wow, I don't want this to happen again. It's a very, it's a deeper issue that'll keep coming back. A lot of people who end up having those chronic back spasms, and they'll go, oh, it happens 2 to 3 times a year, and it just wipes me out. I can't move. I'm in bed for 3 days, or something like that, right? So, I mean, does that sound familiar to anybody? Because that's a really common story that I hear in my office. So, ability extras, and then, he was getting dressed when it happened. Oh my gosh, so funny. It's not funny. I'm not laughing at him, but so the last, I don't know if you guys saw any of the shorts that I did. So I do injury prevention training. So I go into businesses and I help teach their employees how to do their jobs in such a way so they take their at-risk habits like chronic bending forward or lifting over from the spine instead of the legs. So I help their workforce show them exercises and actually go through their job tasks. So I taught 6 classes over the past week and a half, I think, and I talk about this in my class. I always say, when you think of statistically, 40% of people are walking around with a bulging disc and don't even know it. So completely asymptomatic. And then one of the guys said that he sneezed and he blew a disc. So he ruptured it. So it's bulging through the outer coating, like the middle of the disc is like jelly, like bubble gum. And then the outer coating is like, think of a jelly donut, right? So there's an outer portion and the softer inner portion. And so the inner jelly squeezes out, and so, or just pushes, and then eventually it squeezes out. That's a rupture. This guy said he sneezed and he ruptured his. Do you think about it? The disc wasn't healthy. Us to rupture discs, we'd all have ruptured discs by the time we were 2, right? So it's what we do and the habits that we have adopted that then compromise that disc. It starts to bulge, it starts to tear, and eventually, and there are no pain fibers on the casing of the disc. So once it gets through, then it hits through Lisa. Is that, so he had an issue, and so I always talk about this. So you bent over to put your socks on, or you bent over to put your pants on, or your shoes on, and your back went out, and you went into spasm. And I always say, how heavy were your socks? And people laugh, right? But they get it, is that they didn't injure themselves. They didn't get the spasms from lifting, 50-pound bags of mulch. I mean, that could have set it up, and then suddenly they did something like sneeze or put their socks on, and boom, it went. So we have to think about it from the simple, the simplest things is like, what are we doing every day that's actually putting us at risk? So I realized I was showing you my cleavage, but I was trying to show you the dog. There we go. That's better. Hey, boy. I say hi. I say hi, boy. Huh? There we go. Okay. So, well, the night before, he carried 2 very heavy trash bags down to the road. I don't pick up, I drag them. Yeah. What is it with men? They just they might get in and out of car if they're pulling somebody over, but then what if they have to suddenly get up and run, right? And go after somebody. That's a lot of police officers. I trained some police officers in the past through our back safety program, and I talked about that. The more you can maintain your flexibility, the easier it's going to be for you to handle a situation like that, and risk for injuring yourself. So let's see, injuries all over the job, a bad pursuit car accident. Yeah, and then let's talk about all the emotional stress that goes with that too. A thankless profession, I know. And yeah, I don't think they get enough credit. I don't think they get paid enough, right? I had a patient one time who's a cop who said retirement package at the time, and I don't know, this was some years ago, so I don't know how that's changed. The retirement package, he had, that was an excellent retirement package. So, yeah. Okay, am I back? Yeah, I see. Particular patient from the whole, then yes, they're incredible athletes, and then they have to be invincible, but then they think they're invincible when they shouldn't be. Okay, I think I'm back. Yeah, I'm gonna message my my IT computer, but it's not on my phone, so I feel like I'm still with you. And so Lisa, you're saying it's in and out. Paula said, all right, I'm gonna drop. I know. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. So, okay, well, I think what I'll do, I'm gonna jump off for now. Oh, also, Rebel Canners and she's going to an event in Ohio, and she's going to be seeing Joel Salatin speak. I think she's going, I think that's like Wednesday and Thursday this week. And so she are going to do a YouTube live. I'm not sure about next Sunday. I have to connect with her to see what's good with her. And then we're going to distill our experience good with her. And then we're going to distill our experiences. Won't that be cool? So, and to meet her, to have met her here on YouTube, I think that's super cool. That we're gonna bring our channels together. Joel Salatin in another. We're gonna bring our channels together. Joel Salatin in another event, but I'll be at his farm. Our food industry, and what we need to do to grow more food ourselves and be more sustainable. So, all right, I'm gonna jump off because this is super annoying. I'm watching it. Thank you, ladies, for hanging out with me, and I'll see you a little later this week. Watch for lots and lots of stuff coming from my trip this week. All right, enjoy your week, and we'll chat with you soon. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful for you for being so patient with all the chaos. I'll talk to you soon. Okay. Yeah, I know, right? I'm gonna get my Wi-Fi strengthened because I can't. Yeah, it's got to be strong for me to do this interview with Rebel Canners too, because we're not messing around with this. So, all right, you guys. Talk to you soon. See ya. Bye.